everyone, and thank you for coming to the Integrity Officer Swearing In. I want to recognize some guests that we have here today. We have our federal law enforcement partners. We have John Brosnan, who is the Assistant Special Agent in charge of the FBI, Mike Cuff, who is the Supervisory Special Agent at the FBI, a number of other FBI agents on that squad. Richard Barrett from the U.S. Attorney's Office is here. I also want to recognize Hope Caldwell and Stephanie Tipton, who are our partners in integrity. All the commissioners and deputy mayors who came here today, I really appreciate you coming to support your integrity officers. And we are very honored today to have Judge Gary Glazer here to swear the integrity officers in. Judge Glazer has been a judge since 1991, I think, and you may remember that not only is he a common pleas court judge, but in 2011 he was appointed to be the administrative judge of traffic court, and he continues to supervise the traffic court portion of municipal court. And finally, we're honored to have the mayor here today to participate in the ceremony. It's a little bit bittersweet because this is Mayor Nutter's last integrity officer swearing in. But we'll proceed, sadly.
Maybe we can't do one more before the end of the year?
Well, we can arrange that. We can arrange that. Okay.
With integrity.
I want to thank Mayor Nutter especially for giving us the tools, the support, and the budget to allow us to really build a very successful Inspector General's office. And even more important, I want to thank him for giving us independence and leaving us alone to do what it is that we do with all of your help. I want to thank the integrity officers. I can't tell you enough how important and difficult your job is and how much we appreciate what you do and how much we need you to further our mission. You are our most important partners. I want to give you a few highlights of 2014. Together, we had a very successful year. Two things. First, we celebrated and commemorated the 30-year anniversary of the Inspector General's office. Back in October, Mayor Nutter signed a new executive order that did three things. It provided additional protection for whistleblowers, strengthened the confidentiality rules in the executive order, and also supports the role of the integrity officers, of all of you. The second thing is that we have released our annual report. There are copies out there, and they'll be coming to all of you in the mail. I really like the cover this year. Some statistics that are in the annual report. This year, we saved and recovered $6.4 million, which, by the way, is 4 times the budget of the Inspector General's office. 19 employees were terminated from city employment for misconduct, and 21 individuals were arrested or indicted either in federal court or in state court. But more importantly, what these statistics don't show is that things are changing in Philadelphia. These statistics show that we're policing ourselves, that we're cleaning our own house, and with the help of our partners, we are really changing what's happening in the city. We're giving confidence to citizens in city government because we take care of ourselves, and that's really the heart of our mission at the Inspector General's office. So what's ahead for 2015? A couple important things. As a result of one case that we had where a contractor overbilled the city by a substantial amount of money, we worked together with Hope and Stephanie at the Chief Integrity's office and built a program called Bids Gone Bad, which educates people on the procurement process, and that training is already underway. A lot of people have already started, and it's going to continue through the year. We also entered into a memorandum of understanding with the school district. The school district has been impressed with the system that we have in the city with the Inspector General's office, the Integrity Office, and you as integrity officers, and they've asked us to take 6 months and come over to the school district and make recommendations as to how they can build a similar system over there. So we're in the process of doing that now. We're evaluating the school district, and that'll be finished in June. We also have an education campaign, which we started. You can see the posters around the room. We have a video that's up on our website, and we continue to speak in the community and to different departments about what the Inspector General's office does. This program is funded with forfeiture money. We're doing that at no cost to the city. And finally, most importantly, we continue to advocate for a change in the charter to make the Inspector General's office a permanent part of city government. We're continually hopeful that City Council will hear the bill and that will get passed. So finally, I want to thank all of you, because with your help, I think that we are really building an open government with honesty and integrity. You, as integrity officers, were all chosen because of your personal integrity. We put a lot of thought into who we want to be our integrity officers, and we talk to the commissioners, and we really place a lot of value on your personal integrity and your experience. And so for that, I want to thank you all. And now I want to turn this over to the mayor.
Thanks, Amy. Good morning, everyone. Sorry to hold you up. Amy, I want to thank you, especially for the great leadership that you have provided, the team that you've put together in the Inspector General's office, and certainly you and Kathy McAfee and the entire team really do deserve a tremendous amount of credit. The city has benefited in so many ways, both by our reputation as a city government, and certainly by demonstrating to our other 20+ thousand public employees that there's only really one way to function in this city government. It is with integrity, it is with transparency, it is with just doing your job. And getting the pay that you get, whatever it might be, but that the idea that somehow you can rip off the city government or get extra somewhere is completely unacceptable, and you've demonstrated that time and time and time again. So all of us have benefited as a result of the great work of the Inspector General's office. To Judge Glazer, thank you. I could think of no one better to be here with us today. What I was mouthing to you, Your Honor, is when Amy said that you were overseeing the traffic court, what I was mouthing to you was lucky you. And the partnership and relationship that we've developed in that situation, I think, is critically important, and you've demonstrated time and time again your commitment to improving overall court operations. To our federal partners, all of you, whether from the FBI or the U.S. Attorney's Office, again, I would say thank you very, very much for the work that you've done in the past. The reason we have such a strong ethics culture, in my opinion, is because of incredible work that was done in 03, 04, 05, and up through the years that communicated a message not only to our public employees but to the citizens of the city who had basically said, we've had enough. We've really had enough. And it allowed for someone like myself to come into government and to then push and demand that we change things here in the city. And so I want to thank all of you for what you have done and the partnership and relationship that has developed over these past few years. As I've said on any number of occasions, it really is just a great feeling to, whether you're out and about or we're having press conferences, one, to be on the same side of the podium as the city government as our federal partners, or just to be able to, go into federal buildings and not have folks saying, "Hey, I've been looking for you." It's just a really great feeling in that regard. To all the folks who work in the Inspector General's office, and certainly to all of the integrity officers, I think this is something that we had really kind of pushed forward in a quite significant way, that each department should have its own integrity officer, and this partnership and relationship with the IG's office has given us great benefits. Integrity in public service, integrity in the government is really, I think, it's really kind of beyond the minimum that people should expect. It's the government. We work for the public. They pay our salaries. And the least that we can do is to communicate with the public in a way that says, if you are engaged with us, we're watching your money, we're spending it properly, we're not ripping you off. I mean, it's just so fundamental that it's almost absurd that we have to go through some of the extra process and procedure just to make sure that people aren't doing inappropriate things. I mean, it's heartening, everything that we've done, but at another level, it's just like, are you serious? I mean, really? And some of these schemes that folks come up with, and, you know, Amy will come and, you know, shortly before somebody else is about to get in trouble, she'll, you know, kind of let me know and lay out, you know, these elaborate ideas that people come up with that are so infantile at a certain level in terms of their stupidity that it's just beyond me. But it's a whole other story. The work of the office and the 40 integrity officers, all of you here today, has really enabled us to do the work of rebuilding trust. Citizens should be able to trust their government, and I think it is a part, quite frankly, of what we see in, you know, not just anything that surveys that we've done, but I mean the Pew poll that's out today and people feeling better about the city. And they said, well, we can't exactly pinpoint why people feel better about the city, and there are a number of reasons, I'm sure. But the fact that they are not reading about folks being carted off almost every other day, or these horrific, crazy stories, is a part of building the confidence that the government has. And, you know, from time to time, we make mistakes. We do. I've stood at this podium any number of times and we acknowledge, yes, we made a mistake doing X, Y, or Z. I don't think that's too much for the public to ask for or expect. And so it's not a surprise to me that the confidence level of our citizens continues to go up, that people want to live here and work here. And yes, we have big problems, and yes, unfortunately, people commit crime, and no, we've not spent as much as we should on educating our children, and there are all kinds of other issues, and bad things happen from time to time. But I think people know that we are committed to doing better, and that every day is another day to do better than we did yesterday. And if we stay focused on that particular issue and stay focused on our work, you will be rewarded as the diligent men and women that you are. And it is our responsibility to do everything we can to root out corruption, to make sure that people are not doing inappropriate things, to reward those who are, highlight and celebrate those who, you know, it's not just what our public employees do. As they say, it takes two to tango, and often there is some citizen on the other side. And I've had to say, you know, to our citizens, stop trying to influence our employees, stop trying to corrupt our employees with, again, your crazy ideas and schemes, because sometimes, you know, somebody might be in a vulnerable position or just do something and not realize that, you know, they've gone too far down a particular path. So I'm very, very proud of what all of you have done. It will be a hallmark of the time that we've spent together to restore a level of integrity and trust in the city government that maybe had been lacking in previous years. I think the challenge going forward, of course, and then I'll conclude, is that, you know, you have to maintain integrity every day. It's not like you just like do it once and then it just kind of stays forever on its own. Every day, every moment, every year. You have to maintain that focus. You have to maintain kind of keeping your eye on the ball, and the public employees know that there is a place that they can go. And so we should have, after all these years, we should have a permanent Inspector General's office. We should have a permanent integrity officer in the city government. And the age-old adage is still true. If you're not doing anything, you don't have anything to worry about. And if you are, you should be worried every day. Because ultimately, we're going to find out who you are. If you've done something illegal, you're going to get prosecuted, and more than likely you're going to get fired, and you should. Because we have no room in this government for anyone who's doing anything that they shouldn't be doing, or ripping off the public, or disgracing this great city. Those days really should be over. We should close that door and never, ever open it again. Congratulations to all of you. Thanks.
So Judge Glazer is going to swear the integrity officers in now. If you could all please stand.
I just want to make one brief comment. I would like to very much thank the mayor for his tremendous support of the initiatives at the traffic court. He has been absolutely steadfast in his support of what we've been doing. The one thing that I have learned is that it is impossible to control the outside forces of corruption, but we can control the inside, and that's why what you do is so important. It is very difficult, but extremely important. So, with that, could each of the integrity officers please raise their right hand? Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and the Philadelphia Home Rule Charter, and that you will discharge the duties of your office and your position as integrity officer for the city of Philadelphia with fidelity? Please say, I do. Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. I appreciate it. Okay, so they're going to come up, but it looks like we should
Go over there.
go that way. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay, please come forward when I call your name. You ready? Jane Baker from the Department of Health. Well, let me stop right there for a minute. You're going to pick up these bags that we have for you as a small gift, and inside the bag is a poster, and we would appreciate it if you would make sure that poster gets placed at some important place in your department, and that you let people know that you are the integrity officer and that this is how they will go about reporting misconduct.
Is this official swag from the IG's office?
Yes, it is. Okay. Barry Bessler from Parks and Recreation. Rosemary Brannigan from Commission on Human Relations. Veronica Daniel, Office of Property Assessment. Isn't that nice? Ray Davis, the Office of Supportive Housing. Ralph DiPietro, Licenses and Inspection. Mark DiSilvestro from the Treasurer's Office. Mark Erlacher from the Fire Department. Ilya Gee from Procurement. Linda Joy Harris from Aviation, the airport. John Herzens from Public Property. Raymond Jackson from the Streets Department. Jerry Leatherman from the Water Department. John Mondlock from Commerce. John has a fan club here today.
Yeah. Is that your daughter back there?
That's his whole family back there.
So does everyone know, when we had that poster?
This right over here.
That one. So before you all leave, John really enjoyed the fact that everyone took selfies with his poster. And if you have not taken a selfie with John's poster, please do that and then send it to him. He was so overwhelmed by that whole experience, and then complained to me one day that everyone had not taken a photo with his poster. So before you leave, if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it.
Okay. Carolyn Olson from the Managing Director's Office. I know you did. George Russell from PHDC. Tara Saunders from the prison. Diane Schweitzer from the fire department. And Jeremiah Laster, also from the fire department. Okay. Wayne Stokes from the Office of Housing and Community Development. Donna Trent from the RDA. Linda Turner from Parks and Recreation. Alan Urich from the City Planning Commission. Beth Wetzel from Finance. Jim White from IT. Delisha Wilds from Office of Property Assessment. And last but not least, Linda Yurkov from the Records Department. And that's it. Okay, yeah, now we'll do that. Okay, one of my favorite parts of my job is the ability to give an award every year. It's the Inspector General's Integrity Award, and we give this award every year to somebody who has been of great assistance in some of our investigations. So, one of the greatest tools that we have in keeping our city free from corruption and fraud is the cooperation between different departments and agencies. James Comey, who is the director of the FBI, has said that standing together as partners, we are smarter and stronger than we are standing alone. So this year, I am very, very pleased to present the Inspector General Integrity Award to our key partner outside the city, Vicki Humphreys, Special Agent of the FBI, and our liaison with the Philadelphia Division of the FBI office. I've known Vicki since I was an assistant U.S. attorney, and together we worked with Kathy McAfee and with Rich Barrett in prosecuting a number of city corruption cases. And in those days, we used to have press conferences where we would stand up there and say, it's a good thing that the feds are here because the city is hopelessly corrupt. But when Mayor Nutter appointed me to be the Inspector General, our goal was to police ourselves and to clean our own house, because we think that that's really what has given people confidence in city government. But we can't do it alone. No one person or one group can accomplish a mission as big as the one that we have. So just as we need you, integrity officers inside the city, we rely greatly on our partners outside the city. Through Vicki, we have developed a very strong and very important partnership with the FBI, and she has represented the FBI with excellence. She has the knowledge and the experience to handle any investigation, but her honesty and her ability to listen and to treat people as equals and with respect has fostered a relationship with the Inspector General's office that has been enormously successful. In short, she does the right things the right way. So this award recognizes that long-term partnership, but the award is also for Vicki's partnership in 3 specific cases that we had this year. These 3 cases represent the 3 types of criminal investigations we do: against city employees, against contractors, or having to do with nonprofits. So I want to tell you a little bit about those 3 cases. The first one is the case of Calvin Duncan, and probably most of you have heard about this case as the toner case. This is the case where a city employee ordered about $1 million worth of toner, which the water department then paid for. Mr. Duncan took the toner, he shipped it out to a company in Arkansas, again at the city's expense, and he kept the money. Calvin Duncan and the owners of the Arkansas company will be sentenced this year. The city will probably, hopefully, receive full restitution. The second case is Airmatic. Airmatic is a company that had a number of contracts with the city. And this is a case where the company stole about $550,000 by overbilling the city. They sold the city unapproved products that were not on the city's contracting list, but then they billed the city for much higher priced items that were on the city's contracting list. They inflated the price of these off-contract items by about 87%. So Airmatic was sentenced to pay full restitution to the city, over $550,000, 3 years probation, and they've accepted a 3-year debarment from doing business with the city. The last case is a case involving a nonprofit, and the nonprofit is called SELF. SELF was created to provide services for homeless people. But according to the federal charges, 2 employees from SELF used SELF's credit cards for their own personal purposes. Erica Brown and Nathaniel Robinson used the credit cards of SELF for trips to the Caribbean, to Orlando, to Cape May, for meals, for car rentals, and together they stole from the nonprofit $350,000. That was city money that SELF was supposed to use to help some of the city's most vulnerable people. So Nathaniel Robinson pled guilty last week, and Erica Brown is scheduled to plead in April. All of these cases send a message that fraud against the city, theft of taxpayer dollars will not be tolerated. And all of these cases show how successful we can be when we work together as partners. So I want to thank Agent Humphreys for all that you do for the FBI and for being a true partner to the City of Philadelphia. Please come on up. Okay, that's a letter. This is the award. We'll shake my hand. And this is also a little.
Oh, thank you. This way.
Yeah.
I will.
That's it.
Oh, what is this?
Oh, that's just her letter.
Oh.
I'll give it to her later.
Okay.
That's okay.
Is it from you?
Yeah,
Or from me?
from me.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a
Okay.
letter too.
Thank you all for coming. We look forward to next year. Oh, that's yours.
Okay.
So, see, this is the cover to our report.
Yeah.
And then that's what's on the bags.